Hey Arcs, how you doing? It's me, Anamana, and I'm joined by XingKazma, my other host. How you doing?
What's going on, everybody?
You're listening to Oracle Fleet Podcast Episode 4, your weekly podcast for PSO2 news and information, specifically to the global servers of PSO2. Today we're joined by Faye, voice actor and partnered streamer on Twitch, who plays on Ship 2 as well. Welcome, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to hear. Also, we've got Hotsammysliz, who is a partner streamer on Twitch who specializes in games like Monster Hunter. Not so much Iceborne anymore. Maybe the new one. Maybe we've got a new game rising. We got PSO2 as well, but thanks for joining us on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, man.
It's good to hear. So what we'll do is we're going to get straight into questions and answers. I guess before we do, like, how has everyone's weeks been? What's everyone been doing? Who wants to go first? Sammy, you're up.
Oh, okay. I'm good. I've been playing Rise. The Rise demo came out. I was blessed enough to have a little bit of a early access. I felt like that.
When you say Rise, do you mean the Xbox One release game? The Spartan game where you're playing as, like, you know?
No, I'm not talking about a Spartan game. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The Monster Hunter Rise demo came out. So I've been playing that.
Yep.
And I was fortunate to have a little early access thing. I felt like that kid with the meme with the veins, because I couldn't say anything for like 3 days about it. I was like, it was crazy. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this week.
Hell yeah, sounds good. What about you, Faye?
A lot of work. It was like my first week back at work, and then I was also playing a bunch of Final Fantasy 14. A lot of raiding and a lot of house decorating.
Yeah.
I know how really mediocre that sounds, but it's a lot of fun.
Nah, it's like
I think I stayed up till like 6 a.m. doing it last night. It was great.
Oh God.
It's like it's good. I don't want to make the podcast dirty, but the other day I was using the analogy of like burnout, and you got to look at burnout as like a gaming colon, and if you fill it up with too much poop, it's going to go everywhere. So you go to use other things as a toilet to clear it out. So when you come back, you know?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that's where you were going.
Sure. Yeah, me either. I thought I was gonna go a more like lewd direction, but I heard poop, and I was like, all right.
You don't have any kids, do you?
No, I definitely don't. I'm like,
I don't know how you have this top tier of dad jokes with no kids. It's insane.
Look, I'm a dad without the responsibility.
Lucky man.
What about you, King?
So far, it's just been a lot of work for me. I recently got promoted at my new job, so I've been kind of crunching hours and on air.
Yep.
And other than that, I come home, play some Final Fantasy, because I'm trying to replay Final Fantasy 12 and playing PSO2.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Speaking of Phantasy Star Online 2, what about Faye? How long have you been playing for?
I actually started when it first came out in Japan. And then I couldn't keep up with the English patches after like a month or two, and then I dropped it. And then I started getting back into it again when it officially got released on PC over here in North America. So.
Yeah, I was pretty much the same. What about you, Sammy?
So I didn't start playing PSO2 till it came out here this past summer, which is like so crazy because Dreamcast has like been like my favorite console ever, but I just somehow never saw this game. It's like same thing with like, I play a lot of Monster Hunter. PS2 is another one of my favorites, but I never just saw it on the shelf. If I would have even just seen the cover of PSO, I'd have been like, I need that game, but I never saw it. So I didn't start playing it until this past summer. One of my friends tried to get me to play Blue Burst, but it was like
dated
maybe 4 years ago. So yeah, I was like, I'm cool.
Wait, how old were you when the Dreamcast came out? When your Dreamcast era was? What age range?
Whenever. What year was I played it when it first came out. So what year was it?
2000.
Was that like 2000 or
99? I think it was 99.
10 or 11.
Something like that.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I first heard, I started with Phantasy Star Online, and I didn't really know about it until people were talking about it in chat rooms, like really dated chat rooms, and also seeing it in magazines as well. So if I didn't know about that, I would have probably looked at it and maybe I would have seen it and liked it, but I ended up getting it anyway. And we know that like so you haven't had any history. What about you, Faye, in terms of prior to PSO2? Had you played like the original universe? Yeah.
I what's it called? I like kind of threw a fit when I was a little kid because I wanted to play online. But I was too young, and like they were just like, you don't understand that, you don't need that. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. And I chose a Human World, that was my first, and I like tried to play what was it, the HuCast or HuCasile when it came out on GameCube also. I was like too spoiled by my D-band and Shifta. I couldn't give those up. So
yeah.
But yeah, I loved it.
What about you, King?
But I've been playing.
Yeah.
So when I started playing Phantasy Star, actually, the first Phantasy Star I've ever touched was the OG like Phantasy Star, non-online. I actually never played a single online. I did play Universe, but I was too young. That was around the time when Sonic 06 came out, and I got my first Xbox 360. No. And I didn't understand subscription-based gaming. I mean, this is also coming from someone who's never played WoW either. Yep. So I didn't understand any of that. I was just like, oh, free game, and it has swords, and the dude has a cool hoodie. This is all mine. And coming into PSO2 when that came out, actually, me and my friends, we were playing Vindictus, and we were looking for other RPGs to get into that played with like that action RPG style. We came across PSO2. And a while into it, I got into it for a little bit, but I only was playing it when I was over at his house because he had the PC for the patch. So I was thinking, all right, I'm just gonna put it down. And then when it finally came out on PS4, I made a new character, hopped back into it, and I've just been on ever since.
Yep, awesome. I started with like the Dreamcast version. When I bought it, they didn't actually include the serial number, or it didn't work or something. So I finished it on normal and then took it back, and I didn't get in until like Blue Burst or version 2 online. But what about classes? Like, I know Sammy. Actually, I don't know what class you played. Did you play Bouncer?
In PSO2, yeah, I play Braver. Braver was like the first one I got into, because again, a lot of like Monster Hunter comparison, people are like, oh, we know you like parries and counters, so you should try Braver. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. And like there was a lot of parries, and I stuck to it. But just recently, well, before Etoile and stuff came out, I was like, I took a little bit of a break and came back, and I was like, I'm gonna try something else. And I started playing Hunter, and I was like, you guys are idiots for telling me to play Braver, because Hunter is what I should have been playing the whole time. Dude, it's like guarding and like actual like attack parries. I was like, this is like what I wanted. But I mean, I enjoy Braver, but like Hunter that's my actual main. And now I love Etoile because same thing, parries. A lot of parries.
What about in terms of, I guess, how would Hunter translate across to Monster Hunter?
It feels like Charge Blade, which is my favorite weapon. You're blocking, like it's like a weapon where, like, because there's weapons like, I'd say like TMGs where you're like going around the monster or the enemies, and then that's kind of like dual blades in Monster Hunter. You're kind of going around the monster and dodging it. And then there's weapons like Charge Blade where you just go through, like nothing stops you, you just keep going. And Hunter is the same kind of energy. Like, I don't care what the enemy's doing, I'm gonna keep going and just hit them. And that's just the kind of like play styles I like. And Hunter is exactly that, because Katana is like you parry and kind of go through, but you still have to kind of dance. I don't want to dance, I just want to keep hitting and kill the enemy.
What about you, Faye? What's your main class?
I actually have a Bouncer main right now, but I've been leveling up Phantom for pretty much like the past 3 weeks, and I've been really enjoying it. But honestly, like, it feels like sometimes whenever I switch to Katana on Phantom, like I don't speak and I just like focus and I tunnel vision like super hard because like I'm waiting for those like blue lines to show up so I could hit my action button. And I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know, have you guys seen Demon Slayer? Like that like enhanced breathing like technique? I'd like always just feel like I'm in that mode where I gotta keep on point whenever those come up. But fun.
And we know that I don't think King has a class, he just has Gunblade, right?
I'm not going to comment.
You're like,
He's just a walking gunblade, as far as I know.
well, it's gonna be his time to shine soon, isn't it? Right? With Luster?
Yeah, Luster is making its way. I don't think it'll come with the next update, but probably like I guess 2 more core updates into it, we'll get Luster. But I mean, even right now, Gunblade's kind of insane with the new updates and the buff that it got. Like it's still able to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, I just played through a Luther run and I held aggro the entire run.
Wow.
Yeah, it's non-stop attack.
Too much damage.
Never have to stop.
Yeah.
Kind of keep swinging. That's it.
So in terms of content like quests or urgent quests or seasonal content, Faye, what's your favorite content right now in PSO2 or that you've had in the past?
Urgent quests, but the ones that only finish up after one run and not the ones that you have to spam over and over.
I agree on that.
Right? Oh my gosh. And then like, cause sometimes like they hella like pressure you. They're just like, man, I can't make that 3rd run because some people like decided to like slack off or something. And I'm just like, God, this sucks.
Yeah. Not a job.
But yeah. I guess other than the urgent quests though, I have to admit that having the collaboration characters from like what was it, the PSO2 anime and then the universe characters, like having those small collabs in there, it's pretty sick. It's a nice throwback.
Absolutely. I kind of wish that they go back and do like the original 4 games and bring some of those, like, I don't know, King, if that's a thing we see in the Japanese servers, like Alice and stuff like that.
Not that I know of, I'll be honest with you, but hopefully if they were to do something, it would be towards the end, just to kind of take a look back on previous Phantasy Stars before we go into New Genesis. I would hope for that, but sadly, only time will tell.
Yeah.
Get my outfit.
Sammy, I know that you're all about content of a specific tier of value. What would you consider the most premium of content in PSO2?
I would say, I mean, the most value is definitely fashion. Like that's like we all know.
He's
that.
right.
It's
He's
Faye.
absolutely right.
Specifically Phaleg.
That's definitely the most value of content. Yes, but yeah, Phaleg. I mean, Phaleg, fashion, fantasy, like they all. There's a reason they all kind of
start.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I like as far as like pressing buttons kind of stuff. I do like the UQs that are like a single boss. Like the first time we had what is it, like Baron Blossom? I think that's is that Profound Darkness with the stupid Gemini and then the awesome fight?
Yep.
Yeah, that's like the first time in the game where like my heart started racing having to do that solo one. Like I was like I had to super focus on that, and that was like sick because that didn't happen until I don't know when was that, like August or September or something. So like I didn't know the game had that kind of content in store for me until like that quest, and I was like, oh, okay, this is like sick. And then we've gotten some more like intense kind of fights like that. So I like those when they're not like do it 800 times like Faye was saying. When it's just like do the quest once and then get it done is really cool. I like that stuff too.
What about you, King? Like in terms of, I guess, because we're probably going to be talking about this a lot over the course of the podcast. But like right now, what's your favorite flavor of the month for content?
Honestly, it's various, but along the lines of just like the solo content, even though I love playing with people, I also do love to have that challenge initiated, where it's just like normally you would go through with 4 people and it's easy breezy because you have like all that support. But now that you're by yourself, you have to kind of get this rotation down, and you have to meet like a certain damage cap to a point. But then it all comes down to like understanding the boss that you're fighting, the attacks they do, and just kind of planning how you're going to go about each UQ. And with the new, what is it called, Mother's Omnipotence that's out right now, that one is that's part of another piece of content that's going to come later down the line. But it's really fun to run because aside from what we said, how what's his name, Masquerade was going to teach people how to run their class, this one is going to basically teach you how to maximize damage on your class in ways you never thought was possible before.
Yep, that sounds good. Sorry, you go.
No, I was saying, what about you? Because
what about me?
What is your favorite content? Like, I've seen you play a lot, but I've never like actually see you say what's your favorite content. Like, I'm kind of curious.
People probably just see me running like dailies and that's it. Like dailies and weekly content. I've got
getting keys is Anamana's favorite content.
Like, what does he do when he's not live?
Yeah, like I'd say that I'm not hardcore, but then as soon as I say what I do to level my characters, people are like, yeah, you're hardcore. And I've got 30 characters now. 3 of them on other ships, but specifically like Sammy's saying, when it's coming up to a new level cap, I'll just sit down for a week. I'll run all characters through dailies until they get all their silver keys. Then I'll do their weeklies, convert everything to gold keys. And last time when we went to 95, I ended up getting 8 characters using experience boosts of 700% to get to 95 on 8 classes in 7 hours. So that's like I used to work
it's insane.
I used to work in I used to work for a retail company distributing stock to stores, so like I pretty much think in spreadsheets in that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing about your kind of content is like it's so like it's number crunchy, but it's not like, oh, I beat the boss in 3 minutes. Like everybody speed runs. Like I can look on YouTube and find that stuff in 2 seconds, but like the number crunching, it's value. It's like efficiency. It's value number crunching.
Yeah,
it's like efficiency, and I love that kind of stuff.
Like when we're talking about urgent quests, I was thinking about this, and I guess outside of like, I guess the main content I do like is urgent quest content because I don't really feel like I got much to do outside of that other than making Meseta or getting keys. But I tell you what, I miss some of the roaming urgent quests, like Gone with the Wind and Rain. I know Sammy's a big fan of that. And
it's still my favorite UQ.
Yeah.
Started the game at a real all-time high.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite UQ.
And we also have the Coast one as well. I don't know if you played that one back when it first came out. That was really good as well. Like that was a really nice casual thing for leveling. So long as everyone just went in the right direction, right? But other than that, it was I'm not so much of a. I've done Phaleg, I've done Solo Profound Darkness back when it first came out. I can do at least. I've only tried the first depth of Mask, but outside of that, I'm not really that kind of player. I'm definitely more of just trying to do as much minimal work so that I don't have to grind constantly, kind of thing. Yeah. What about? So we got favorite content, and while we're talking about favorites, I'll get King to start. Favorite moment or period of PSO2?
Release day of episode 6.
Yeah.
That one felt like it was a huge weight of like limited content just lifted off our shoulders. And although we did have to wait like another 2 weeks for the rest of the stuff to come in, it just felt like that was the time where PSO2, and even when it came out the first time, it felt like that's where it really got to shine. And we got to see like all the classes really push how strong they actually are, especially with the Scion classes when they came out, everyone swapped to hero.
Yep.
And then when episode 6 came out, we started getting like the build up PAs and everything. Everyone started seeing like, wow, no, these first 8 initial classes are insane, you know, compared to the Scion classes, and every class just became a little bit more unique. So that was more my favorite thing because it kind of opens up more of a playability. Like you now are seeing how you can play each class, and it's more enticing to go and try every class now, which increases your playtime.
Absolutely. And I guess as well balance. Just everything should be like balanced across the board. It shouldn't just be like Scion classes and that's it. Yeah. What about? All right, Faye, you're up. Favorite content or period or moment? We talked about content, but moment or period.
I think the first time I watched Kuna's concert, when I heard her sing Our Fighting in the Miyabi version, I like lost my shit. I'm not gonna even lie to you, I like bought a bunch of fashion so I could look like her, like even that diva hair, and then I got this cute keychain like in real life because like you get this in the game too. Nice. And you can strap it on your character, and then I got a figurine of her.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm like Kuna's #1 fan. Fight me. Swear to God.
What about Sammy?
Yeah, much like Faye was saying, except for Phallic. That's like that was episode 3, right? When all the like Earth stuff happened.
4. Yeah.
Was that episode 4? Yeah. So episode 4, as much as I hated Yamato UQ and look at my blind side and all that stuff, it also gave me phallic. So like that was like another moment where I was like grinding and like getting into the fight, and that 1v1 fight is sick, and her character is sick, and just like Faye said with Kuna's fashion, I was like, I need to get everything that phallic has. So I like spent all my meseta to get her outfit, her hairpiece, like her necklace, like everything. So like that was probably one of my favorite moments. And it was at a point where I was like into the game enough to know what was going on, because like when the game first came out, like everybody was like, I already know what everything is. I've been playing Japan for 8 years, and I'm like, I don't know anything. Like what's going on? So like by episode 4, I kind of had like my reins on the game, and I knew what was going on. I could make money and like buy stuff on the store without it skyrocketing in price the next week. So like that was a good point. And then the content itself was just like, it gave me phallic, gave me mommy phallic. So that was good.
Mommy phallic?
I feel like this is like a meme between Sammy and I. Is like phallic's got like big soft mum dom energy.
Yes, she does.
But I guess for me, so my favorite moment with PSO2 as at a greater scale was probably the waiting room. I did a stream leading up to episode 6, and I was streaming for like 9 hours with the game not up, and it was just lots of dumb memes. I taught people how to make Vegemite on stream. On toast, and like it was pretty nutty. So that's probably my favorite community moment. But outside of that, I don't know. Like I think when we got bonus quests was like a huge thing for me, because I'd always liked the idea of them, and I'd never applied, neckbeard maths to it just yet. And it gave me an opportunity to really like grow that neckbeard and try it out.
When you were doing that pre-stream, the waiting room, like I was like lurking a little bit in that, and that stream was like nuts. It was like there were like so many people there just like hanging out, just like, is it now? Is it out yet? But like not in like an annoying way, just like we're just all so excited in the same place. It was a really good vibe.
We had like 1 or 2 annoying people, but it got to the point where like my it was like Goku limiters off. It's like, no, I'm not going to be polite about this. I'm just going to be like, just really extra and saying like, well, we don't know because, would you want the game to work or not? And I was doing like flailing arms as well while I was saying that stuff, just because I feel like that kind of reduces the impact of being rude as well somehow. So like you'd never see one of those, what do you call it? Those floaty, balloon
wacky
people.
Waving and flailing on tube man.
If one of those told you off, you'd be like, all right, I can respect that, but I'm not going to get mad, So, we were going to touch on we haven't had a lot of content over the last month, pretty much. We've got a new season pass, not really much to say there. Go and check it out. It's out now, so there's no point in us, building up to it. Rappy New Year's happening as well. Not much outside of just Rappy's a new lobby with the good luck ritual. I don't know what the name of it is. If anyone here does.
One more time.
The shrine,
the ritual. Oh, the shrine stuff.
Like,
yeah, I don't know the proper name of it.
Yeah,
but you could test your luck. But it doesn't really affect anything though, right? It's just for fun.
Not like PSU had, but yeah. So that's like, it's not a huge, it's more of just like a lobby change. But what we were going to talk on is we're coming to it soon. We don't know any dates. We don't know when it's going to drop. We kind of expect that it could be next maintenance. It could be after. It depends on what happens. But divide quests are coming. And who better to explain this than an actual Japanese veteran, King? The floor is yours. What is a divide quest?
So Divide Quest is arguably one of the most fun quests in PSO2. It kind of turns it into everyone's here heard of Sword Art Online, right?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of turns it into that. So for every Divide Quest, each difficulty is separated by 5 steps. Within those steps, you have to go into rooms. So there's 30 steps in total, and they reset every week. So every week, you have to make sure you complete all 30 steps. Otherwise, it'll reset. After you complete all 30, you are able to like go back and redo them for the higher level drops. But when the week resets, you have to start from the beginning and go again, basically. So say if I were to start from step 1 through 5, once I'm in, what'll happen is, depending on if I'm by myself, I'll get a damage boost because you have to be able to manage your own. If I'm with a team, we're all together and we share a health meter. That health meter basically says each time we die, we lose 1. When you start the quest, each quest is separated into, or each floor, is separated into 2 missions. One mission will be either that of support, free for all, supply, free for all, conquest, and can't remember the last one. But basically it's a boss run where as you're fighting the boss, you will have to destroy enemies around the area, and each time you destroy an enemy or an ad, you will actually get a damage increase. The point of that damage increase is because these bosses have like trillions of HP. It's crazy, and your job is to basically deal as much damage as possible. And that health bar, this time bosses have a health bar, which is great. Nice. Because that health bar is the score bar at the top. The point of these quests is to try to do the what is given to you, or whatever mission is given to you, so that you can get an S rank. If you get enough S ranks, I think it's like 2 A's and an S that you need, or something like that. It's some weird way to get an S rank for the whole thing. But if your players die, you do lose HP. But the 2 quests that I was saying were separated on each floor. One quest is for points. The higher the points, the better your drops, because there are weekly drops depending on how many points you get by the end of the divide. The one on the right will be an HP quest. So if you complete it, you get another life. And you just go all the way up to the last floor. And on floor number 5, sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. On floor number 5, it's always going to be a boss run. And depending on what difficulty you're on with the steps, so if I'm like 1 through 5, it'll be this giant robot mech. But then if I'm on 1 through, or 25 through 30, or 26 through 30, it'll be various. It'll either be Varuna or what's her name, Varuna or Shiva, or it'll be the mech again, but he'll be like all gold and everything. Like it always varies. Mm-hmm. But it's a very fun quest, and Lumimechs become as farmable as X cubes. Awesome. So that's pretty much the best I can say without spoiling too much.
Yeah, I think in terms of like, if you were to ever tell anyone and they just wanted, you know, a minimum 1 sentence, I was saying to someone in like Discord the other day. No, it's good. I was saying like, as just another thing, like in Discord the other day, I was like, someone kept asking what a divide quest is, and I was like, the quest keeps splitting in half until the boss gets annoyed and does the Sonico slap.
Until you just get slapped.
Yeah, because it's not wrong. Like at a certain point when you get high enough and like you're just beating on the boss for like a whole couple of seconds, and then the boss is like, I'm tired of this. 1 shot. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Like, all right.
Yeah. So what's the best strategies? Like what should people go in preparing in terms of, I guess we've already know what we should expect with Ultra Hard, but are there any things that people should be looking out for, or anything they should keep in mind while they are approaching them?
Pay attention to how each quest is ran. Like I'm not going to go into the details of them because I'm kind of working on something at the moment to do that. But like pay attention to how each quest is run. Every quest has a certain way that it's ran, and it's not necessarily saying like you need to be the best in the room or you need to be the strongest in the room, but you have to follow his plan. Because say if, like I said with the boss rush, if you don't destroy the ads around you, you don't get the damage boost. You don't get the damage boost, you don't do enough damage to kill the boss. You have to deal damage to increase your rank, because when the rank bar fills out, it'll be an S rank. So there are certain layouts of how these are ran, and if you pay attention to them and you learn them, it's easy. And other than that, just try not to die, because when you're in a team, you share a health bar. Yeah. So if one person dies, everyone loses that health bar.
Mm-hmm. And do you think there's going to be any good loot? Or I don't know how much of episode 6 has had very similar loot to what we see on Japan, but say we did get the same loot table as Japan, what would you say is good loot to look for?
So a lot of the good stuff that drops from it mainly are some good weapons, Bastil's weapons, of course, things like that you can get for ACK. But other than that, it's mainly the materials you're looking for. So, and also I forgot to add one thing. Every quest comes with a condition. So it'll say something like you get 20% increased speed, you have 20% increased PP recovery, your health is reduced by 40%, or the boss damage is increased by 40%. So it's little things like that kind of adds onto it. But the good things are the mats, because as we move on, Lumimech fragments and Lumimech crystals will become a weapon material and armor material for future stuff. So as you complete, and you would need to S-ring or at least complete and beat the bosses to drop most of these materials, and I warn you ahead of time, you're going to need to farm a decent amount.
Yep. Sounds like PSO2.
A very decent amount.
It does, Faye or Sammy, out of all that information you just got torrented on top of you, what do you have any questions or anything you'd pick out that was something that was like, oh, I need to ask that?
Well, I actually looked it up as Keeg was talking about it, and I was just like, oh, okay, you do need to have like a level 85 before entering this content. So
Yes.
like, what's it called? Okay. But that which was clear. But other than that, I haven't done any of episode 6 storyline. So do you actually need to clear all of episode 6 before you can like partake in this, or is it just unlocked right off the bat?
It's just an added quest, just like how we had Ridroids. It's kind of
Okay.
like that. It's just an updated Ridroid.
Just gets the
I see.
appropriate level and it should unlock, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're free to run it.
And just like with any quest,
And-
when we say 85, it's subclass as well, unless you're a Scion, which it obviously they don't use subclasses. Yeah.
Pretty much. And
then-
there's also like a weekly score thing too. So depending on your score, you can actually check it right now in PSO2 because it's in the game. You can check and see what score do you need weekly to get like special materials.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's just like a quest that's there, right? Like there's no like urgent or timed anything other than that weekly reset tied to it. So you just do it as many times, anytime you want.
Until your fingers turn numb.
Ooh.
Pretty much.
I like stuff like that, so I don't have to feel any FOMO.
Yeah,
The FOMO
Yeah.
gets to me.
absolutely. If there's any viewer questions at all, feel free to fill them now and we'll go over them. But we don't have much more content coming other than what we've got: Divide quests, we've got True Profound Darkness. What else is there to come?
I mean,
New
other than
Genesis.
those two, yeah. I mean,
Spider looks
actually,
thick. Spider is so
there's-
sick.
there is a bit of information release that I've seen recently where they're talking about the update for PSO2. The graphic update is going to be sometime next month.
Yeah,
Is what I've been hearing a lot recently. So hopefully that comes through. I think that's something that a lot of people are looking forward to, seeing before they come back to PSO2. But aside from like as far as in-game stuff goes, Divide quests and Morning of Demise, because I think if I'm not mistaken, Morning of Demise and TPD are the last two
okay.
UQs that we get in episode 6, like the main UQs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a question. How many ultimate boosters would drop from a Divide quest? And I know as well you were saying that there is also the content information that will be like, get a certain score over the week and you'll get all these rewards. Outside of that, is it just basically standard it might drop 2 or 3 kind of thing?
Yeah, it's random. I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily not something that I've ever paid attention to really, but they do drop, and they drop photon boosters as well.
Yeah.
So there's a good amount. Honestly, by the time you're tired of farming them, you should know you'll have enough ultimate
Yeah.
boosters.
Pure photons drop there as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, they come with the weekly rewards too.
Yeah. Because there's a
Yeah.
tier that's like, there's badges we'll get, there's the Lumen Fragment Emils, there's also, so there's ultimate boosters and pure photons on one tier, and then on the next thing, there'll be materials or modules required for the Still series,
Uh,
like the Varuna module and stuff like that. What does that go with?
yes. I was thinking because I skipped the Still Period series, so yeah. So actually, there's a bit of a thing I've been thinking about. Speaking on that one, so there's the Rarity 15 weapons that we have now. Those Rarity 15 weapons, if you get them, keep them, because stuff like Dim weapons, Ablasana, Anacatis, all those weapons are actually materials for the next weapon series, which they don't tell you. So if you get rid of them, or if you use them for SAF fodder, you're kind of just throwing away like a good weapon. So at least keep a Dim weapon on you. You can actually buy an 8 slot, get an easy 8 slot for the next weapon series, and it'll be fine. But yeah, you would need the modules, which the modules come with beating the bosses in the Divide quest.
Mhm.
So Honestly, it's pretty easy grind. It's a fair grind.
And so expert matchmaking, obviously, like right now, we don't have the answer to that. As for if we'll get it, I don't know. We haven't had it yet. It's something that probably would have dropped already, right?
I mean, it's in the game.
Mm.
Like the option to do it, but it's just not activated. I don't know. I mean, aside with the idea that PSO2 is kind of doing this whole thing where they're trying to get us on board with JP, I think they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say that and like confirm it, even though I don't actually know. But the fact that it's in the game is just not an option to like click on yet. I don't know.
Yeah,
I hope so. I hope so. I think I just spent like an 18-minute Luther run. I don't want to do that again. So
I'm gonna throw in I'm gonna leave a wild card discussion piece because we've still got quite a bit of time, and that is what Sammy's just touched on. New Genesis. So out of the classes we know, we all know what classes are coming, right? At the moment, we've all seen that information.
The 6, right? Is it 6?
Yeah. What classes are we going to be starting with? Because we're going to start from level 1.
I'm sticking to Hunter.
Hunter.
I'm sticking. I you give me a big sword and a block, and I'm there. That's all I need.
What about you, Faye?
I'm right there with Hunter.
I'm gonna start with fighter. Because hand-to-hand stuff is my jam, and I actually was very torn between bouncer and fighter for like how things currently are right now, because I really like to punch stuff. Like if you see me in other like MMOs and like just the games I play in general, you know I'll like to punch stuff. So after I saw how sick they looked, I was just like, I want that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I now. Do you play Monk in Final Fantasy 14?
I do play Monk.
I played Monk as well. I was gonna say, like, you were saying you were torn between fighter and bouncer. You don't have to be anymore because you can basically put any jet boot PAs onto your fist, so you can.
That's why.
Attack with every single one.
And you, man, and punch you in the face. Sick. I'm there. I'm so down. But yeah, it looks cool.
What about you, King? Is it gonna be? I'm gonna fighter.
I mean, it's going to be fighter if we don't have Gunblade, but ultimately, if I see a Gunblade, I'm picking up a Gunblade. It's happening. I'm sorry. I'm way too addicted. And that's actually one of the reasons why I was trying to go back to Final Fantasy, because I heard they have a Gunbreaker class. So I'm like, everywhere I see Gunblade, I'm going for Gunblade.
Is Final Fantasy like 8 your favorite by any chance?
Actually, 6 is. Surprisingly.
6 is
I love
pretty
Kafka.
good.
I love Kafka. Kafka is like the best villain ever. But 8 is a close second. Final Fantasy 13 is also one of my favorites too. Don't hate me. I have my reasons.
Is it purely because of the battle music?
The music was stunning to me. The Gunblade, yes. Lightning's Blaze Fire Saber. I'm just hoping we get a PSO2 crossover one of these days and just have that there. But also it was the story. I kind of took a deep dive into it. Some things I didn't understand at first, but I have the entire Final Fantasy 13 collection now, and I went through and played it like a few months back. And now that I'm older, it was like some things that I was looking at, and I'm like, holy crap, this is actually good, even though the gameplay is still kind of janky. Yeah, that's fair.
I think
so. Gunblade, that would mean you're a Gunlance main in Monster Hunter then.
No, actually, I am Insect Glaive. Insect Glaive, Longsword, and
breaking the mold.
Stinky.
Gunlance, I never tried. I never tried Gunlance.
What? You never tried it?
Never tried.
It's a blade and a gun.
When I watched some dude play it, and all he did was poke people, and I was just like, that's boring. Like he just blocked and poke, block and poke. He never even used the gun part.
The gun part.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay,
like they're playing wrong.
And then I saw Insect Glaive, and ultimately as well, when I play Final Fantasy 14, I'm a Dragoon main, and I love partisans and staffs. So when I saw Insect Glaive, I said, this is my jam.
Yeah, that's a Dragoon. Yeah.
And was it, Dragoon is basically the Matoi class. We spend most of the time in hospital, right?
Oh.
Yes.
I think in terms of classes, I'll probably play. I'm torn between fighter and force, which are kind of like peanut butter and chocolate. Very different, but I don't know. I've actually swapped from summoner recently to force. I've got like a full build and everything now. And but fighter, I've always loved Knuckles. Like Phantasy Star Universe Knuckles, just like launching yourself across the screen was really fun. I'm hoping it has a lot more momentum. The problem with Knuckles right now is that you have to put a ring on and you have to lock onto an enemy to be able to actually like punch close to them. But outside of that, I mean, you've got Heartless Impact. I just hope that there's a lot more ability to like reduce the range between you and the enemies. That's the big hope I've got.
I love the way it looks now, and I think that's actually a really cool combo because even with what we know about how fighter works, with all that crit damage and weak spot damage and everything, looking into the elemental effects that they were talking about in New Genesis, how you get to open up new weak spots with Force and Tekker's element abilities. I think that's a really cool combination, especially if you're doing like Tekker, because you get that extra buff on your D button as well, or your shifter. So you can just open up a free weak spot and then just start pounding at the guy. And it's like the best idea ever. You basically work for yourself.
I'd love to be able to do like Hunter and Tekker. Like that's my dream combo because Tekker is like my favorite like tech class.
Sounds like
you just smack stuff and blow things up. So can I smack stuff with a sword and blow things up? Like that would be so sick.
It sounds like it'd be totally hackers.
Yeah. Oh my
kind of like you like Power Rangers. That's kind of what happens in Power Rangers. They just swing with a sword and then something blows up.
Well, have we got Sensei costumes right now in PSO2?
No, surprisingly, no.
Interesting. We got helmets. You could probably just, you can make one.
Yeah. Wait, there's a helmet?
There's one that's been given away right now with, if you do, what is it, the party maneuvers 1 and 2 with EO. You can go and do those, and there's a helmet you can get as a Visiphone reward.
She's booting up PSO right now.
There's a
all of a sudden, I just like really like EO for some reason, man.
Go talk to EO.
Speaking of, anyone that's watching right now, we are actually going to be continuing the stream after this, and we're going to have a little session where we're going to play some of the 4th recommended quests, some triggers. We're going to help Faye level a bit, and it's going to be fun. But outside of, I guess, oh wait, she's given the fruit. Oh, is there something else that's giving away the helmet?
You can get it from the battle arena. That's why, because I actually have a set. It's the helmet and then it's the outfit. It looks like a Super Sentai outfit with the gloves and everything. But then to add a little PSO JP flair on it, it has a kimono that goes around the neck and just kind of hangs down like a Hokage outfit. It's really cool.
Wait, I'm gonna check the campaigns because I think I got that wrong. Wait, where's the campaigns for 2020?
Wait, you're on ship too, right? I can actually show it to you.
Yes.
You would need to do battle arena though, so God rest your soul.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Have fun getting that.
Oh God.
Like battle arena is not hard. It's just recently there has been time discovered.
Oh, they took down the campaigns page.
No.
Here's my thing about battle arena: strike hard, strike fast.
Cobra Kai.
Yes.
No mercy.
Because the thing I've learned is if you miss an attack, that person will spam PAs until their PP dies. I've literally walked up to people and watched them spam PAs until they run out of PP, and I'm just like, sucks, don't it? And then I just attack them. That's basically how I've cheesed my wins.
So the campaign is the alliance one. You need to get 10,000 alliance points, I think, to get it. So as long as you're in one, you'll get it mid-February if you want that helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Pete, I actually, it's probably based on your costume color.
Sick.
Yeah.
PvP. I honestly really like PvP. A lot of people, I think the first mistake a lot of people make is they go in expecting it to be like, I don't know, like other games PvP where you're taking your gear, you're really powerful, and you're just basically blinking at really low-level players and winning. And I don't think that's much skill anyway. So I really like the fact you can just jump in, pick up whatever you've got, and then go from there. And it's just based purely on skill.
I would like it much more if I could just party up. Like that's the thing that does it for me, because I don't like PvP much anymore. Like, because for that exact reason, there's somebody. I don't have enough time to be the best at a game, and if I'm not going to be the best, then I don't want to play anybody else. Yeah. So somebody's going to always be better than me at it. So let me just play with my friends. So if we lose, I'm losing with somebody else. This is like I go in there by myself. Somebody who's Kazma tier good beats the crap out of me, and I'm like, all right, well,
Excuse me, sir. I
lost
suck
again.
at this game.
Oh, okay.
You just get soaring blades and you just use the weapon action. That's it. That's how you win at PvP, right?
Yeah. Or you can just play Luster, dash to win. That's basically how it goes.
It'd be cool if they actually brought out. I think if they did PvP and they revamped it, I would like it where you could maybe pre-assign maybe your favorite weapons or even a class, and you'd get those weapons.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I just don't like the maintenance of getting killed, having to pick something up, and if it's not for you, then people are going to waste time, and you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
That random factor kind of kills it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we are going to be playing on ship 2. We're all on ship 2, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
Yep.
We're going to be in lobby. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But we'll get a party going. We'll be doing probably triggers and recommended quests. So we'll let you know what I'm actually going to switch to an urgent quest screen after this. And if you stick around, we'll boot up our games and we'll get some gaming on. I think Faye and Sammy, are you streaming directly after this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll just be chilling with y'all.
Okay.
I'll stream whenever we're all done.
Yeah, so you'll be able to, you'll probably hear if any of us are streaming at the same time, and you'll probably see us in the Twitch directory. I'll be continuing on the Oracle Fleet, just so it's all in one place, and people don't have to swap channels. You know, breaking the, I guess, chain of watching, whatever you call it. But we're gonna wrap up here. Thank you very much, Faye and Sammy, for stopping by. It's been probably one of my favorite streams we've had, next to the last one we had with Cutie Kitty. It's been really good.
Yeah, we got to do this more.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah.
No worries.
I do have a question. Would you guys be okay with some community games every now and again, though? Because I'm thinking about, once I get everything settled here, I want to start pushing more into Arts Council and just helping people get their stuff up. I know as you guys as creators, you're playing other games. And because PSO2 kind of has my soul, I think it's time best spent helping out as many people as possible, getting your armor up or any questions you may have and stuff like that. So I may actually start with you two and we just go through the rungs and connect more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm always down. There's always weeklies to do.
Yeah.
Instead of me, fashion to buy. So
Dude, honestly, I forget about weeklies at this point. Like I just come in and run quests and then everyone's like, Kaz, do your freaking weeklies. I'm like, those exist?
I'm just stacking up the Meseta at this point. It's gonna get to a point where something's gonna come out and I'm gonna miss it and I'll be like, that's sick and I need it.
Yep.
And I'll actually be able to buy it.
I feel that so much, dude.
All right. So thanks everyone for watching. Again, if you are a listener on podcast networks or watching later on YouTube, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you do want to catch some games with us sometimes, as we might do after streams, you can find us at Twitch at twitch.tv/oraclefleet. I was going to say Anamana AU, but it's Oracle Fleet. And yeah, give us a follow on any of the stuff. We've got Twitter as well. You can get notifications of when we're going live. It's been really good. We've had a lot of people tuning in for the live shows and also a lot of people watching later and listening, which is really good to get that support and also provide something to the community. But we're going to wrap it there. Thank you very much, Faye and Sammy, for stopping by.
For sure.
Thank you for having us.
And also thank you, King, my brother from the United States of America.
Sadly.
Yes.
So sad.
All right. We will catch us later. Bye.